Hey guys, I'm back here for another day in the arena. So I decided to kind of move over to historics since I found out that I did qualify for the upcoming qualifier, um, qualifier thing. I made top 250. I think I was like number 227, and so yeah, now I'm looking at kind of trying to find a deck here in historic, and then sort of use that, practice on ladder, kind of get more familiar with the decks, etc. So I had to look around and I found kind of my style of deck here, the Izzet Wizards historic deck. I found a deck on MTG Net, I think mtgdex.net, and so the credit to this one goes to the user, I think Adrik, A-D-R-I-K. So basically this is the list, and he was running 61 main deck cards, so I just shaved a card, but this was 76% win rate in Mythic. This is a list from like somewhere in the last 60 days, but yeah, really looks like it will be a lot of fun. I tried to jam a couple games and just kind of wanted to go over sort of, what my somewhat limited understanding of how the deck works here at this point. I'll probably get more comfortable with it a bit later. But yeah, it's very straightforward. It's actually plays very similar to the mono red aggro deck. Just kind of bash in there. You have in this deck 16 different wizards, and these are going to be kind of what you just want to stick a wizard, maybe two wizards, cast a bunch of spells, get in, and just do a ton of damage to face. So this particular build of Izzet Wizards, if you're familiar with it, is a little bit more kind of geared towards the mirror. So it does have sort of more value spells like Flame of Anor and the full 4 copies of Expressive Iteration. And then it does also run 2 main deck copies of Sleep Cursed Fairy, which I believe is there for the mirror, just because it has ward, it's a wizard, it turns on your wizard lightning, harder to kill, and so it's a little bit kind of slower grindier, but should have some good game in the mirror. And then it has kind of, pretty much a lot of the other same stuff. You've got Wizard's Lightning, Reckless Charge, Play with Fire, Sleight of Hand. There are a lot of versions that are running Consider, and, kind of the benefit of Consider is you have an instant speed. Sleight of Hand, though, I can see why this guy chose to go with Sleight of Hand, just because you do actually see 2 cards as opposed to scrying 1 and then drawing a card. So you have slightly better selection, even though it is at sorcery speed. And considering this deck doesn't do much on the opponent's turn, it has no counters, at least not main deck, I think it's worth just going with Sleight of Hand, just getting just better selection. So the mana base, you have kind of as many of the different like red-blue duels. You've got Steam Vents, Spirebluff Canal, River Glide Pathway. The Fiery Islet is one that I think you could run just like the Painland instead. So this one always will cost you a life to use, but you do get to draw a card if you're kind of like up against control, you're running out of gas, so that seems kind of nice. And then you've got 2 copies of Den of the Bugbear as a manland, and then you've got 1 copy of Otawara, 1 Sokenzen, and then the 1 natural basic island. So when you're looking at the board, there was, I think in his copy, he had a card which is not legal if you're running the Gigantha the Wellspring Companion, which was, I think, Brotherhood's End, just because it's double color. Or actually, I think maybe it was legal, but for whatever reason, I tried to add, I don't know if it was banned or who knows what happened, but I couldn't find it. So, at any rate, so I think for whatever reason, maybe it was banned in Historic. I don't pay attention to Historics, I don't know. But the other cards here, so you've got like Tormod's Crypt, you have Unlicensed Hearse. These are kind of there for any sort of matchups that deal with the graveyard. You have Snapcaster Mage, which probably comes in the mirror, just for kind of even more sort of fighting back and forth over spells, etc. And then you have 2 more copies of Sleep Cursed Fairy, which I believe do come in the mirror, and then also against just decks that have lots and lots of removal. You have 3 copies of Strangle, which also comes in for the mirror, since pretty much all the creatures have 3 toughness. and then 1 copy of Reckless Rage also coming in the mirror. I think Pithing Needle is just there for, I'm not sure exactly what sort of random nonsense that has activated abilities, but at any rate, yeah, I'm pretty happy with the board he's got set up here just to try out. And I think that, you know, like for example, in the mirror, I probably, at least at this point, unless I understand differently about the deck, would cut like 4 copies of Flame of Anor. I'd probably cut 2 of the Play with Fires because they don't really kill anything. And then maybe shave like an Expressive Iteration or 2, or possibly like, I think maybe actually cutting 2 of the Soulscar Mages. So I'd probably cut like 2 Soulscar Mage, 2 Play with Fire, 4 Flame of Anor, and then bring in 2 more of the Sleep Cursed Fairies, Reckless Rage, and the 3 Strangles, and then the Snapcasters. So definitely we'll have enough creatures going on, and then just kind of bring the curve down a little bit. All of your removal kills all their stuff. Yeah. So with all that said, I am running best of 1 just to kind of get a feel for the deck. And then I think I'm going to start maybe doing some like best of 3s. But let's jump in and get into some games. Also, just kind of sort of real life stuff sort of has been getting more busy, and just to be able to, I'm just trying to like sort of figure out balance and everything. So I may have some shorter videos just kind of going forward. I think I'm going to still try to like see if I can spike big events and then cast those, but some of the more like day-to-day videos may be a bit shorter just to make sure that I can sort of do everything I need to do with my life. So this hand, it's got all kinds of removal, but it doesn't have any actual creatures, and there's only 16 in the main board, so I think I do need to mulligan this. I don't know if that's correct, since we do have like sleight of hand to try to search, but I think I'd like to have at least like 1 creature in my opener, if possible. And then here, since we're kind of up against an unknown opponent, probably I want a good mix of spells and creatures. I think the weakest creature here is probably Balmor. Arcanist and Symmetry Sage are both just very, very good. So I think I'm going to keep those 2. I could be wrong here, but I do think that like Symmetry Sage and Dreadhorde are probably the best of the creatures. And then like what I've found kind of playing out a couple games here, instead of just like going hard with spells next turn, what seems to work the best is try to get like a second creature down if I have them, and then start going off on like turn 3. Obviously he took my second creature, but you know, had that not happened, that would be the idea. And I guess I could just sit here, you know, I could Reckless Charge, start getting in. I think I'm going to hold this here just so that, you know, I mean, I can push like 6, but then I don't sort of out of gas. So this way, if I draw another creature, I can get it going. Okay, maybe we should have pushed there just so we could, you know, before he had his removal online. But I think this is fine, honestly. I think I just need to get some more cards going and just, yeah. I guess we can hold up potentially, since it's instant speed, I can hold up, like, maybe we have a counter spell. Who knows? I guess we'll do some card draw here. Okay, he probably takes our Sage, unfortunately. So we could start preparing for Gigantha. The problem is, I mean, if he has removal, then we're just sort of completely out of gas. So I think maybe start cracking some of these to go a little bit deeper might be better. And I suppose I could have done that like end of turn in case he has like another Inquisition or Thoughtseize or some other nonsense. Yeah, so okay, that would have been better. I'm still getting used to playing this thing out, but probably would have cracked those at like the end of his turn to get around that kind of nonsense. So I guess at this point we can like get Gigantha going. I guess he can just take our, if he Inquisitions it, it's out, but we sort of have nothing else going on. That was a nice draw here. Now we get to get rid of Rankle here. I guess he can bring Kroxa back, which is kind of annoying. And yeah, I guess we're now racing Kroxa, so we're going to be hit for 8. Next turn he can 2-shot us. I suppose actually he can hit us for quite a bit more. He can hit us for 12. So I think we're just done here, unfortunately, but I don't think it gets any better by sitting around. There might be like some permutation of cards that I could draw that could get us there. Yeah, and that's not going to do it. All right, so that's Jund. I guess I haven't run into Jund yet. I don't know how much of the metagame it comprises, but most of what I've seen is the mirror and then mono green ramp, some Enchantress decks, and then like blue-white control. That's pretty much most of what I've seen so far. I think between like mono green and this deck, it's like a quarter of the field. All right, so this hand looks a lot better. We don't have a whole lot of spells. We have a lot of creatures. Kind of getting the right mix, I'm sure, is very important. Yeah, so some of you guys might be, you know, kind of seasoned hands here at Historic, but I've only done it like maybe one other time just to try to get ready for a qualifier. Oh yeah, so this is the mirror. Some versions run like Strangle Main, but it's not super common. Let's see. I think we want to get Arcanist. Arcanist is like the better card overall, but doesn't have a whole lot to get back right now, so maybe we have to start with Balmor. They also probably have a fair amount more removal to get through. So here, I am tempted to just get Arcanist going instead of... I could also Expressive Iteration, get another land, and then kind of start that game. But I think Soulscar Mage is not that big a deal. I'd rather like save my removal for some of their other pieces. Yeah, I guess getting land going could be good. I think let's just start with Arcanist though. I guess if they have like 2 pieces of cheap removal, it's going to be awkward, but... if they have like double Wizard Lightning, that could be rough. But I think especially since we have the other Arcanist, just getting the creatures out seems better. Wow, that's actually kind of interesting. Yeah, Soulscar Mage, if this thing's power is negative, it's not very good. That is interesting. I think here we want to just... probably get the other Arcanist going. Yeah, and that's the one I want to get rid of here. Now we can Flames of Anar, get rid of this, and then just start drawing cards. Could also actually just save that for next turn. Yeah, I guess let's Iteration. I want Iteration. Let's see. We'll put this in exile so we can play that. And then... actually, maybe getting another Dread Horde would be good. Yeah, I think maybe I'll hang on to the Iteration here. And then shuffle this one back. And get the land going. And then just get Sleep Cursed Fairy out there. Okay, their Arcanist, on the other hand, has got a lot of action. So I think we want to make sure to kill their Arcanist here. So I think we Flames of Anor, take out Arcanist, and draw some cards. Oops. Yeah, now we can play with fire and then do it again. Wow, they just tapped out. That'll work. I actually didn't think we have it in the bag there by any stretch of the imagination, but cool. What I have found is that, one other deck that I see a lot is the equipment deck, where it's like the +10/+10 and then cheap ways to get it onto creatures. So I see a lot of that too. I think with double sleight of hand, this is actually a keepable hand. So, and we're on the draw. But yeah, kind of the basic sort of rubric that I've been going with is if I have at least one creature. Oh god, they mulled down to 3? Good lord. Must be some kind of crazy combo deck. Okay, we really need to hit some land here. That'll work to start. I think here we just want to filter, just try to get land moving. Man, Symmetry Sage is awesome. However, I mean, maybe we should. Like, it's so good. I guess we could just go Dreadhorde instead. Yeah, I think we really want land, honestly. Okay. We have Sleight of Hand to replace. I think Dreadhorde is going to be really good here. Still have no idea what we're up against. Okay, so now I guess we just get Battlemore going. Or Balmore. And then get another Sleight of Hand moving. This is some kind of crazy combo deck, right? Have not seen this combo before, but I'm guessing these things all have like haste and then kill you. Oh yeah, another combat. Yeah, this has got to be. I'm assuming this is game. It's a weird deck. So Seagate, Stormcaller, Neoform. Huh. Interesting. Yeah, well, we had a pretty slow start there, so. But yeah, there are some insane, crazy combos. Like I've lost on like turn 2 for some crazy equipment thing where they'll play like a scamp or something like that on turn 1, and then like turn 2, you know, cheat out the 10-10, equip it, attack, and then sack it and do 20. So there's all kinds of crazy stuff going around here in Historic. I don't know how consistent that deck is, but I definitely have seen a fair amount of it. There's another like Zulaport Cutthroat deck that can infinite you on like turn 4. Or turn 5. I don't really remember, to be honest. So I think, you know, given all the options of creatures, you want to start with Symmetry Sage. I think it's kind of one of the best creatures in the deck. I think this is, yeah, the mirror. There we go. And then you typically want to do iteration on 3 so you can like play a land from it. So we could like Soul Scar plus Reckless Charge here, which I do kind of like because we are pushing some serious damage. Otherwise we go like Balmor and then try to set up like a big turn 3. And that could be cool. I guess like it depends on like how many of our guys they kill. We don't have a lot of like burn to face, so I think we do probably want to go this route. Like there are some decks that run like 4 copies of Static Discharge, which is like Lightning Bolt, but slightly better, where like more copies make it do more damage. Okay, that was a great draw. So now, oh, I was going to say, if we had another land, it would be so amazing. Yeah, I mean, we can, like, try to set it up for next turn, but we might also just want to get moving here. We could go, like, Soulscar Mage plus Reckless Charge, push 6, which isn't bad. We could Iteration, try to get a land, and then, like, drop this, and, like, push 3. Or just like set up for next turn with Arcanist. I guess I kind of like. Actually, wait, this doesn't work. I can't do Soul Scar plus Reckless Charge, so we only have 1 red source. Yeah, I think we just go Arcanist here. Try to set up, hope it works. Question is, does he have another land and a burn spell? He might. I think it's worth trying for. Okay. At this point, we've got to just kind of get started. We get Iteration. We could also Soul Scar plus Sleight of Hand. I think I'll probably do that instead. Just because I really want to make sure we get land and creatures going. Yeah, and unfortunately here I hit like the only 2 blue sources in the entire deck. Everything else can produce both colors of mana. We need more red. Oh, this is going to be a beating. Yeah, then they're going to Firebrand or something. And this is probably it, unfortunately. I think... Yeah, there's like different ways to play this deck. Some versions of it like don't run very many Flames of Anor. It's nice for all like the card value, but it's so slow and dirtily, and it's like not really my style. So I might change the deck up a little bit. Yeah, we're just dead now. It's like we block, kill. I guess we're not just dead. No, I think we are actually just dead with Reckless Charge. Alright, so anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Still very much learning the deck. It's not necessarily going well, but I think I might try a slightly different build of it, because this one seems a little too slow. But we will see you here in the next one. Right now, let's take a very quick look at where we're at. So yeah, currently this deck is at an all-time low with 25% win rate, 1-3. Oof. So hope to change it up, and we'll be back for the next one.